What's happening, crypto fam? Happy Wednesday. Good afternoon and welcome back to Love for Crypto. I'm Scott. It's a pleasure to have you here. I appreciate taking time out to consume the content, so thank you. 2021 has started with a blast. We're leaving 2020 behind, and Ripple have released a story on their insights, crypto and blockchain looking ahead to 2021 and beyond. Now, it's extremely interesting at the moment with what's happening with the SEC and US regulation. They don't seem to be having any problems anywhere else in the world. I have to admit that I don't see anything from anywhere else in the world popping up that suggests that Ripple are struggling. And if the US hold them back and hinder them much more, I can see them leaving the US by the end of this year. I've not read this myself yet. We'll see what it says. It might even mention that. Who knows? The link will be in the description if you want to just go and read it yourself. Up to you. If you want to hear my opinions on each little bit, then stick around and see what it's saying. It's apparently an 8-minute read. Stick a 1 in front of that on there, I think. We'll be 18 minutes once I throw my opinions down. But we'll see. Excuse me, let's get cracking. 2020 was certainly not the year anyone expected. With the financial services sector specifically, 2020 did not meet the early expectations for more mainstream blockchain and cryptocurrency adoption. However, the pandemic did demonstrate new and greater use cases for cryptocurrency, and ultimately, the past 12 months has proved to be ones of steady progress that help strengthen the foundation for the technology. But obviously, US and global regulations continues to be top of mind not only for Ripple, but for the industry as a whole. Looking ahead, Ripple's leadership anticipates a year of continued acceleration for blockchain and cryptocurrency innovation and shares their insight of what 2021 might bring. Interesting. A crypto quickening. Interesting subheading. RippleNet General Manager Ashish Birla says the line between crypto and banking is blurry, providing an opportunity for nimbler fintech companies to leverage crypto to erode the market share of larger, slower moving incumbent banks. That changing embrace of crypto is already being exhibited by consumer-facing fintechs like Square, Robinhood and PayPal. Those companies originally made mobile and digital banking services more accessible to a wider swath of customers, and now their adoption of crypto is helping introduce more people to digital assets and blockchain-enabled financial services. Birla anticipates that the use of crypto and streamlined fintech regulations will help even more fintechs compete with banks on a level playing field in 2021. And there's that buzzword again. A level playing field. It's been pissing a few people off, and we was all over it the other year. It's not just people have been saying it's a level playing field for the bankers and no one else. It's a level playing field for these and no one else. Bro, go to your bank now and try and send 20p to an African, because I'm guarantee you, or a Venezuelan or anyone, because 20p is a lot to them. Try and send it to them, they'll be fucking buzzing. But I'm afraid it's going to cost you a hell of a lot more than the 20p to send that person 20p. Not only that, the time it takes to get there. I can send them 20p in XRP like that right now. As long as they've got the Tipbot or fucking Zoom or any wallet. Yeah, they can get 20p like that. And that. It's a level playing field for us all, however you look at it. Right, it's faster financial services that we ourselves can control, using it P2P, not just B2B, not just the bankers. So at the same time, crypto companies are exploring more traditional banking opportunities, as evidenced by the number of crypto and blockchain firms that applied for banking charters in 2020. You could also marry that with the apparent trust people seem to have in banks. Madness. The tide is turning, says Birla. It's possible that we could even see a fintech or cryptocurrency company acquire a traditional financial institution this coming year. The dawning of DeFi, new subheading. So this past year was DeFi's coming out party. DeFi generated a lot of buzz and some interesting applications over the course of 2020. This was largely confined to the crypto space, but it amounted to an important preview of DeFi's potential. Looking ahead, Ripple's head of DeFi, Michael Zochowski, says that 2021 will see DeFi gain even more traction as it matters. I anticipate many of the early DeFi projects will fizzle out, consolidate, or get acquired in the months ahead. But the truly useful ones will most likely the simpler applications replacing financial services like wrapped assets and decentralized exchanges should continue to gain momentum with users. Zochowski also predicts that new DeFi platforms will solidify their footing as demands for performance and cost accelerates. In particular, he expects more sidechain projects, bridges between networks, and smart contract applications to emerge as interoperability and efficiency increase in importance. I mean, you can name DOT, ADOT, LIP, you can name a few that are coming. With Ether 2 still far from reality, he also cautions that Ethereum will continue to lose ground and could fall even further behind by 2020 if development timelines slow. I believe at least 25% of the value deployed in DeFi by the end of 2021 will be on networks other than Ethereum. Now, it is worth noting yesterday when this broke on Insights, Ethereum actually hit a new all-time high. Now, we're still in the early days, we're still in the baby steps, and if they don't sort the fees out, a hell of a lot of people will look elsewhere. Make no mistake. Zochowski also believes the XRPL ecosystem is poised to build on significant 2020 achievements with several new major initiatives that will extend its leadership role in DeFi. These include a variety of projects such as Flare and XRPL transaction hooks, enabling expanded smart contract functionality for XRP users and developers. He also says the XRP community is returning to its roots by exploring fungible tokens and a decentralized exchange on XRPL. We're expecting the asset tokenization trend to accelerate on XRPL, particularly stablecoin issuance with multiple production deployments in corporate products built on new and improved tooling. That's interesting because we're only really hearing about XLM projects in that respect. So with the stablecoin issuance and others, it's going to be interesting what actually gets built on XRPL and how fast it actually moves on after some SEC clarity, which the next subheading leads directly to: regulatory clarity. A new administration is expected to bring a renewed focus on regulation and enforcement from the White House. As cryptocurrencies move further into the mainstream, G20 countries have no choice but to consider these technologies on a short list of financial regulatory priorities. As we've seen, a lack of a clear regulatory framework over the last 4 years in the US especially has left fintech and blockchain players in a state of limbo. Other countries like the UK, Switzerland, Singapore, and Japan are miles ahead. Ripple's General Counsel, Stu Alderotta, predicts that crypto regulation will be a top priority for a Biden team that understands its implications for public and private sector innovation. This could lead to a unified framework and a streamlined application process for fintech seeking crypto licenses. Intelligent, well thought out regulations communicated effectively and uniformly applied can help level the playing field and unleash innovation further mainstream adoption here in the US. The year of CBDCs. Interesting. That relationship between government regulation and innovation is also at play in the white hot area of digital central bank digital currencies. They all love putting this in now, but driven by pandemic realities such as a move away from cash and a need to improve ways to distribute government aid, as well as China having pushed ahead with its own CBDC, many countries have accelerated their nation projects. Notably, a number of European countries are actively exploring the feasibility of a digital euro, while the United States Federal Reserve is collaborating on researching with MIT's Digital Currency Initiative. The activity and the advancement in CBDCs are the clearest indicators yet that digital currencies are the future, said James Wallace, VP of Central Bank Engagements at Ripple. Over the course of 2021, I expect to see greater evolution of cryptocurrencies, stablecoins, and CBDCs, with each firm establishing their place in finance and payments through more defined use cases. In the coming year, the focus of CBDCs will broaden from solving for domestic solutions to addressing cross-border interoperability. Like with China, some central banks will focus on retail CBDCs tied to e-commerce platforms, while others will experiment with replacing cash, as in Sweden or the Bahamas. These new projects will require collaboration between central bank networks and private blockchains, and may be able to utilize natural bridge currencies that can provide liquidity and instant settlement for cross-border payments. They need to start saying cross-network payments, I think, because cross-border ain't just what it's all about. One network can do a cross-border, like, do you know what IBM network can with XLM, cross-borders, you can use anything for cross-borders. It's when it becomes cross-network. Do you know what I mean? And you've got someone saying, I don't want to use that, and I don't want to use that, and I don't want to use that. That's where it becomes, well, we need to either make an agreement or we program the machine and algorithm to just go for the fastest frictionless route, and then we all know pretty much the group that it's going to choose from. It's interesting. New subheading beyond proof of work. The launch of Ethereum's Beacon chain was an important turning point in 2020. For Ripple CTO David Schwartz, he sees it as a clear move away from proof of work, POW, and towards more scalable, sustainable systems in 2021. The fact of the matter is, POW systems consume a lot of resources and energy, said Schwartz. They also feature an inevitable bend towards centralization over time as the miners with the cheapest power become key stakeholders. In 2021, we'll see technical innovations continue to improve blockchains like XRPL that use newer technologies. To mitigate this consolidation of power and to improve energy use, he expects more blockchain to mirror Ethereum's migration and pursue the building of carbon-neutral blockchains like XRPL. For those who attain carbon-neutral status, the positive environmental impact is enormous. This comparison of energy consumption with XRP transactions relative to Bitcoin, credit cards, and even cash highlights the potential for the industry. As part of this growing emphasis on sustainability, Ripple also set an important 2020 benchmark when it became the first blockchain company to commit to being carbon neutral. Ripple unveiled a number of initiatives that will help achieve this milestone by 2030. It's a great perspective to take, and something that we really should be thinking about is the power consumption of blockchains. Like in an eco-friendly green world, does BTC have a place? Does the power it's taking up within the atmosphere have a place? I see it being in space, me. Bitcoin validators, literally, like he's saying there, more blockchains migrating. And I can envision Bitcoin validators on more of a proof of stake or some other proof of consensus orbiting the planet in satellites, getting solar power. It's freezing up there, and no danger. Get a satellite up there, boom. Node on a satellite, done. Node on a satellite, done. Look at Starlink. Don't be surprised if Elon Musk starts throwing up some cryptographic nodes, right, and some validators and gateways and all sorts around the planet. And who says they can't then ping a signal to Mars for the future? I mean, the laying the grounds for the next century of finance here, guys. We need to think about that. It's not just the next 3 years, the next 5 years, the next 10 years. The laying of groundwork and the framework for digital finance moving forward into the next century until quantum computers comes up with something better. It's as simple as that. This is the best thing we can do now for the current computing power, and the future, God knows what that holds. So focusing on impact. RippleX General Manager Monica Long anticipates this commitment to impact Commitment to impact to play out in other ways over the coming year. In 2021, we'll see crypto make good on its original promise to remake finance as a more accessible and equitable for the world underserved. Interesting. To help achieve that vision, crypto will first help level the competitive playing field, opening the door to fintechs that emphasize consumer empowerment, companies that offer easy to use and understand services are safe, secure and private, boast interoperability globally and help people build wealth and achieve socio-economic mobility will be the eventual winners. Health, wealth and happiness, baby, that is all that matters. Long expects to see the greatest change come at the expense of established financial providers and in developing nations across the Middle East, North Africa and Sub-Saharan Africa that have already embraced the digital path. For countries that have leapfrogged traditional banking and credit card networks in favour of mobile services, crypto is a logical next step. Ultimately, the year ahead will be one of growth across the board for blockchain and digital assets. While the pandemic slowed progress globally, it also shone a bright light on the functional utility and opportunity for digital currencies. This will translate into continued innovation for the sector in 2021. And that, my friends, is exciting times. It sounds like the year they truly begin to level the so-called playing field. And again, not just for emerging economies and microeconomies and the existing large economies, but for people within those economies to then get a choice. Look, stay in the traditional banking system if you want. Don't touch digital assets if you want. That's the choice you now have. But in the end, you will have to have at least one, which will be the CBDC issued stablecoin within your local country. Your local currency will go digital. In the end, cash will be gone. Again, you might be forced into digital currencies, but you're not forced into staying with the banks. You can become your own banker with some cold storage, controlling your own value, moving it out of your local currency into an appreciating digital asset instead of a stable coin, and go from there. It's the future, and I'm extremely excited. I want this SEC stuff done with, because I see the market ripping after that, me. I really, really do. And by the back end of summer, I think a lot of us are going to be smiling. It's going to be exciting times. Exciting times. More and more that comes out now. I feel like we've got a little bit of time left to get in at these lowish prices. But, yeah. I mean, the shit could leave any moment, really, couldn't it? So keep getting in, dollar cost average, diversify, invest in yourself and the internet of value. Live long and hodl it till you're ready to let it go. Yeah, maybe even get on some precious metals and that. Protect your future. Health, wealth, happiness. Wealth don't have to be gold and value, guys. Wealth can be, like Bob Marley, my riches is life. The healthier that you feel and the happier you feel equates to the wealth for most people. Yeah? Doesn't have to necessarily be, oh, wealth. No. Life can be your riches. But let's get the fucking bills out the way, eh? Sick of them. Want bills gone, live life. Yeah? We love crypto, we love XRP, we love the internet of value, and we love you. Until next time, peace.